you can put all your energy into something and you want something to grow and you want it fast and you want it yesterday. But what this says is waiting is how you sort of learn the importance of what life means to you. It's in those moments of pausing and life isn't happening that you can find the most resilience and strength and courage even to continue on your journey, because you know that if you have the patience to wait, things are going to move forward eventually, because that's what life's about. We're always moving forward. No matter what we think, we're always going to be moving forward. We never are going to stay in one place forever. Even if we want to, even if we want things to stay the same, everyone knows that life is transitory and it is filled with impermanence. And all we can do is sort of move with the flow of energy. No matter what you believe to be true, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. I want to wish a very happy new year to everyone, and I hope that the year ahead is filled with abundance, good health, and success. So our first new moon of 2024 is going to be at 20 degrees Capricorn. The one thing I can say about this new moon is that it is filled with a lot of six line energy. The interesting thing about six lines is that they're not like all other lines. In fact, it's already where you're looking beyond the gate energy into the next gate on the mandala. If you look at it as a Capricorn new moon, you're looking at it as sort of working hard and trying to climb the ladder of life. And when you look at it from the perspective of human design, the gate 54 is exactly that. It is about trying to advance in life. The one thing about the gate 54 that it's important to keep in mind is that it is something that you are recognized for. If you are trying to push to the front of the line, if you're trying to tell everybody how good you are, you may not get the results that you want. On the other hand, if you're just diligently working at your craft, whatever it is, and kind of moving along and doing what you are meant to do, you're usually noticed. And that's when you start to rise in the ranks of your life in whatever field that you are looking to sort of advance. The one thing that's kind of cool about the gate 54 is it is called the gate of the marrying maiden, who eventually rose to power to become, I believe, an empress. So this is energy that's very low in the body graph that is trying to strive to work to become the gate 45. So if you look at the gate 54, you flip it around, it becomes the gate 45. Now the gate 45 is half of the 4521 channel, and that's the only channel that is the tribal channel that can bring energy for abundance. It is the voice of the tribe. So it's a very, very important channel. So you could say that the gate 54 strives to become the abundant provider. When we think about the gate 54, it's always important to remember that it is tribal energy. And with tribal energy, it's always going to be about the mundane things of life. And mundane only means the things we need to survive in life. We can look at life from only a spiritual bent, but then we lose out on the actual perspective of the truth of the reality of our existence, in that we do need all those things in our lives. And what the gate 54 does is it tries to marry the idea of spirituality with the idea of abundance and living in the Maya, living in the manifest world, and understanding that all parts of our life and who we are need to be expressed in our life. And that it means that the gate 54 is about spirituality, mystical energy, but it also is about the success that you want to achieve to become, to grow and to become higher in whatever field you're in. So that's what we have with this energy. So it is mystical. The gate 54 line 4 is the most mystical energy of all the whole ray of I Ching, or for the whole body graph. So it's one of those special energies that is kind of opening you up to this idea that there is something bigger than you. There is something mystical in you, in the world. And, it doesn't just have to be one or the other. You can have both, and you can be successful having both. So if we circle back to the idea of the sixth line being prevalent within this new moon, it is a mutative new moon. This is when things are changing. You may be changing, or even just this kind of feeling of something's different. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to change overnight, but it could be sort of the beginnings of something new. We do have the new year coming, the Human Design New Year, and that's going to be coming on January 22nd. So what that's saying is that you're doing the final preparations to move forward. But having said that, we also have this opportunity with the gate 53, where the earth is. We're grounding into this opportunity for a brand new beginning, and that's the gate 53. Unlike previous years when Mercury's been retrograde and we've had a lot of retrograde energy beginning the year, that's not the case this time. And every year, so if you look at this perspective of everybody has a different idea of when a new year begins, a new cycle begins, we could also look at it from the perspective, okay, yes, we do have the new year coming on January 22nd, and that's going to be connected to the gate 41, which is the initiating codon of everything. Literally, we're beginning a brand new cycle. And Pluto will be beginning a new cycle in 2024 too, which is huge. It's a very huge thing that's going to be happening on planet Earth, both personally and globally. So the other thing is that if we look at the from January 5th right up to January 11th, every year of a new year, we have the gate 53 in play, and that's where we have the Earth. Now, this is where we're grounding into something. We're bringing it into a concrete version of we're going to start something new. That's what the gate 53 is doing. Before the nodes moved into the gate 51 and also the gate 57, it brought a full cycle, which sort of activated this energy to start something new, to start a new cycle with no issues with, retrograde planets really kind of holding you back. So this new year might be one of the new years that is sort of the closest to something brand new being born or being at least an idea forming. So, if you're watching this before the new moon happens, you will still have the energy of the full channel, the 5342 channel in play to start your new beginnings. Now, the new beginnings of the gate 53 are always going to be the type of thing that you don't hastily get into. You have lots of time. You've been thinking about it. You've been wondering, okay, when will I, release this? When will I start this up, or when will I start this new job, or whatever you're doing? So what that says is it's a calculated new beginning, not something that you do in the spur of the moment. The reason being is because it is cyclical energy. It's something that says if you're going to begin this, it's important to continue on with the cycle. Because if you don't continue on the cycle, this is powerful energy that says, why didn't you do that? Why did you quit? And those types of things. Nobody wants to feel that. We want to feel like we've achieved something. No matter how an experience turns out, as soon as we let go of it and don't do it anymore, even if it, isn't turning out the way we wanted it to, it's almost like you feel like, okay, I've invested all this energy and I've got nothing back for it. Many times experiences don't go to plan, but it always feels better to know that we at least tried as opposed to not really knowing what could have happened. And we can have magical moments that can occur as much as things that, they don't turn out the way we want them to. But that's the energy of the gate 53, is to have this new beginning and to stick with it and to go through the cycle until it's over. And when it's over, it's an experience that you have. It's a memory that you can cherish, or a memory that you can keep. It could be a memory that you could learn from. But ultimately, that is the key with the abstract energy of the gate 53. So this is all wrapped into this new moon. It's a great new moon for all those types of things. And again, if you're moving with the energies, especially if you have a lot of abstract energy, especially since we have Neptune activating the gate 36, which is abstract energy, these are all kind of telling you that cycles are important as we go forward, especially when we're moving into 2024 with Pluto moving into the gate 41, which is once again abstract energy, cyclical energy that continues on this new cycle. So we have a tremendous amount of power going into new cycles as we move into 2024. And this new moon is kind of starting the process of, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to bring in that's new? How are you going to do that? And do you have the ability to stick with it? And that's the key. Now we come to the actual line 6 of the gate 54, where the sun and the moon are. And it's basically having you look at your relationships. It could be your work relationship. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be something that you're putting energy and an investment in. And the idea that, when you're investing in something, there is always going to be a return. We have to look at that perspective, because primal energy is always about, what do I get back, from this interaction? What do I get back from this transaction? Especially when this is sort of like business energy, the gate 54, gate 32, the full channel. So it's basically asking you, are you investing your time, energy into something that is not really going to ever give you the results that you want? Are you trying to change an outcome feeling that if you put enough energy into something, that it will turn out the way you want to. But are there things that are showing you that maybe you can put as much energy as you like into something and it's not going to change it? Maybe it's time to let go of it. And that's what the question is, because every new beginning that we have with the gate 53 comes usually from an ending. And that's the key. We're opening a new door, but it's about generally closing a door to open a new door as well, especially if you have a fifth line energy. That's one of those big things for anybody with a fifth line energy in their profile, in their personality, or in their design, and even gates that you have them in a fifth line. It's about knowing that when the cycle is completed, it's time to move on to that new thing, because if the door closes, knocking on it, asking to come back in, it's not going to work to your advantage, especially for a fifth line. So that's something to keep in mind. And if I circle back to the earth in the gate 53 line 6, the one thing that this comes with that is pretty magical is this ability for people to want to support you in your new beginning, because they believe in you, because you have the track record, because there's something about you that engenders this ability for people to trust that you can make it through. And because of that, they want to support you in your journey forward in this new beginning. So that's a lovely perspective. So if you have something that you're ready to sort of launch or go with or move into, this could be a really wonderful time to do it with a new moon. Generally, people say when it comes to new moon energy, they say a couple days after the new moon, when it starts to grow again, is the best time to do these releasing energies. But of course, we're being imprinted with this energy for a couple of weeks until the full moon comes, sort of the end of the month. So that's just something to think about. You will know what's correct for you. Your inner knowing will always tell you. And this is the year above any other year to get, this is a year above any other years, especially to get in touch with your intuition, get in touch with your knowing, because we have the nodes right in the beginning of the year in the gate 57 and the gate 51. The gate 57 is about individual intuition that is here to protect you, is here to show you the path that is the best for you. So tapping into that might very well get you on the right path. And another thing to keep in mind is that we are still in the quarter of mutation. The quarter of mutation is one of those interesting quarters where it begins sort of, we have the ending of the year, and we also have the beginning of a new year all in the same quarter, because we have the gate 60, which is the end of a year, and we have the gate 41, which is the beginning of a year. But the quarter of mutation is very special in that it is about anything can happen. It's like you can make as many plans as you like, but something can kind of just trigger something different that you never expected to happen. And that's what the quarter of mutation can bring, this unexpected event that kind of shows up. So stepping out and looking around you and being aware, and trying to tap into your internal guidance system to show you the correct path for you can really work to your advantage as you move forward through this new moon and into the new year. We have the south node in the gate 57 line 6. And the one thing about this is that it may be a situation where you want your intuition to always be right. And there's no room for it to not to be like not exactly right 100%. You want 100% or none. Because if it isn't 100% accurate, what's the point of it? But what this says is that we know that nothing in life is 100%. There's no, there's nothing that we could say. There's no psychic in the world. There's no prophecy that's 100%, because you also have to remember it is our interpretation of what it means to us. And maybe we don't always read the signs right because we're biased. People are biased. We're always a bias. We want to have the best things come to us. So it depends upon your mindset. If you feel like oppressed all the time, you could be thinking only the bad things are going to happen. And if you feel like you're very light and fluffy about life, you could feel like only good things can happen. So being in the balance in the middle and trying to decipher the messages will always work to your advantage. And how you do that is sort of go back in time, look at how you felt about certain things, events that happened in the future, how you felt before it happened. How accurate were you? What were the indications that meant that maybe it was going to be this or that? And that is really good. Those retrospective views can really show you how your intuition works for you, because yours is specific to you. Nobody else has your intuition. But if you can connect with it, which is what we have an opportunity to do with the guidance of the nodes, then that can really help you move forward. And of course, the gate 57 is an awareness gate, and awareness always comes with a price. And the price is that we can have fear. The fear here is about the future. But again, this is where you look at the idea of not always really knowing what's going to happen. Like I liken this to this idea of you have this fear that you're going to fall and you're really terrified that you're going to fall. But what you really do is you just stumble, and you don't really hurt anything. You just kind of, trip on on a rock and you don't even fall down. You like kind of stumble. Or you might have had it blown up to this idea that it was going to be something huge. So this is where you're kind of connecting with your intuition. You're given the guidance if you want it. You're there to pick it up if you want it. Again, this is a splenic energy. So because of that, it's going to be quick in the moment and it doesn't give you a second chance. So that's why the more you are in touch with your internal signals, what works for you, the better it will work in the long run. We also have Mercury in the gate 11, line 6, and the 6th line again. This is really an interesting energy. One thing about the 1156 channel that a lot of people don't always know, and especially with the gate 11 line 6, is this idea that you might, if you carry that energy within your body graph, you might have this really good sense for trends that are happening and seeing trends and predicting trends. This is basically what Mercury is telling us in the gate 11 line 6, is that it's going to show you if there is a crisis. It's going to show you if there's something that you have to be paying attention to. And it might even show you a trend that you can kind of capitalize on to move forward in your life. So Mercury in this energy it can be very beneficial. Again, this is going to be related to social media, communication, anything related to Mercury. Mercury is sometimes connected to the stock market. So even that could be, in banking systems and those types of things. So, whether you believe that to be true or not, again, it's about what you feel is correct for you. But that is something else. It's kind of giving you this ability to see if things are not correct, to see if there's something off, and to be able to mitigate and change it, change your actions to protect yourself, or to, it's like, again, it's splenic energy from the spleen, the gate 57, which will say, okay, bang, you have to do something now, do it. So this is where you have all the warnings and all the signals, and you can capitalize on them and use them to your advantage if you decide to. And finally, we have Venus in the gate 5, line 5. It is exalted in this line. The key phrase for this line is waiting is an aspect of enlightenment. So basically it's saying you may take this opportunity with this new moon to start something new, to launch something new, to decide about who is for you in your life and who isn't, to make big shifts and changes in your life. And then it's about waiting to see how it blooms. Now think about the gate 53 is like a seed you're planting. Now you want to make sure that you have all the best environment for that seed to grow, but there is nothing that will make that seed grow any faster. It will come when it's ready to come. Venus is saying, okay, I've got your back. You wait and things will show up. Just be patient and life will unfold exactly how it is meant to for you. With that said, I hope you have a wonderful new moon, and I will be back again soon. Until then, take care and bye for now.